Okay, who here hasn't been to space? Why? You better not throw up on my ship.
Approaching jump in 3, 2, 1.
This is what I'm hearing about Venom, and this is coming from Divinity Seeker. If you guys remember, we talked about Divinity Seeker a couple earlier this week or last week sometime, and Divinity Seeker was the new leaker on the scene that released all of the Agatha Coven of Chaos leaks and things like that, and how the show is going to be going. Well, they have put out some things, and again, Divinity Seeker, whoever they are with someone that was either with Great Phase at one point or still with Great Phase, but they said this about Venom, and they said that Venom 3 is set in the same world as Madam Web, and it is a story of Eddie/Venom hunting down for Peter Parker, but finds out he's just a 5-year-old child and struggles with knowing they need to take down Peter for their future, but begin to start seeing Peter as a son-like figure. What the fuck? Hold on. Then it goes on, Divinity Seeker goes on to say, there is a scene of Venom taking Peter to a museum where he exposes Peter to spiders, but ends up making Peter fall. Whoever, Isle and Eddie, rushes him to the hospital. Eddie begins to realize how innocent Peter is and that perhaps they are in the wrong for capturing him. Okay, well, I will be completely and utterly honest with you. This is the, I've read through this leak earlier a little bit today. I read through the first paragraph. The second paragraph I did not read through. I just saw that Divinity Seeker did tweet this out, and I wanted to address it. Now, Divinity Seeker did address this in January, kind of mid-January is when they addressed it, but then they readdressed some things a couple days ago for it. But I'll be honest with you. And you guys know I always am going to be honest with you. I don't like it. I do not like it. What I'm hearing, I do not like. The fact that we all kind of knew that Venom was probably more than likely going to take place in the same world as Madam Web. Everything over there at Sony seems like it's going to be taking place within the same world, and that Madam Web, from what we know about Madam Web, is going to be the catalyst that sets all of those things up. Like, it sets up Kraven the Animal Lover, that's going to set up El Muerto, it's going to set up Venom 3 and etc. and things like that. This, though, see, the issue, the last time we talked about Spider-Man or the last time we talked about Venom 3, I said I don't want to see a deal where Spider-Man is not involved. And to me, throwing a 5-year-old Peter Parker in there is a slap to the face. It's still not having Spider-Man involved. I'm confused here. Maybe Divinity Seeker doesn't know, or maybe that's just information that just wasn't shared. But I'm confused here as to who is the villain in this. Like, obviously Venom would be but what is the motivation? Like, who is fighting? Who is he fighting? Because obviously Venom's not fighting a 5-year-old Peter Parker. I don't like the whole looking at Peter as a son-like figure. I don't like that at all. I also do not like, this whole thing of Venom hanging out with Peter, taking him to the museum. Like, what is this? There are times where scoopers or leakers will put out certain things in regards to a project that is up and coming, but And there are times where I'm like, that sounds really cool, or I hope that they don't do this. And this is one of those times where I'm saying, I hope that this is not true. I hope this is not something that the people over at Sony are sitting in the writers' rooms talking amongst themselves, saying, you know what, this sounds like a banger, because it does not. It does not at all. I'll read that first paragraph one more time. Venom 3 is set in the same world as Madam Web and is the story of Eddie/Venom hunting down for Peter Parker, but finds out that he's just a 5-year-old child and struggles with knowing they need to take down Peter for their future, but begin to start to seeing Peter as a son-like figure. And again, these are the worries that we have for the Sonyverse, for the SSU is what they call it over there. These are the trepidations that I have when you take out the franchise's main character and you try to do things with lesser characters that are just there to complement the franchise character. You know, obviously Venom is a major character when it comes to the Spider-Man universe. However, the character is Peter Parker Spider-Man. That is the character. So again, what it's seeming like to me is what we talked about the last time we talked about Venom, and that is the fear of the absence of Spider-Man. A 5-year-old Peter Parker is not Spider-Man. He's not so the fact that we're going to be seeing a 5-year-old Peter, and we're going to be seeing that same young version of Peter, I don't think he's going to be 5 in Madam Web. I think he's going to be his mother is going to be pregnant with him during Madam Web, and whatever happens in Madam Web, it has to do with the whole time traveling elements to where they're trying to prevent Peter from being killed as an infant. From this, again, those are things we know just from the leaks from Madam Web and whatever. But this does not sound promising. This does not sound like something I'm interested in at all. I'm be honest with you. If this is what they are doing and they're truly going to hold on to this, I can tell you right now, I likely won't see this in theaters. I won't pay money for this. I will not pay money to see this. And some people out there might be thinking, oh, Darius, you're over exaggerating. Like, let's wait to see what Sony does. Let's wait. We've waited. We've seen what Sony does. Sony does Morbius. Sony does Carnage and then doesn't do Carnage. And if you know if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Sony has made Kraven an animal lover. Sony thought to themselves it would be more beneficial for our company to do an El Muerto film than doing something involving, I don't know, Spider-Man. So, and you know, I can hear people saying, well, El Muerto does involve Spider-Man. He's one of Spider-Man's villains. Again, if you are checking for an El Muerto film, that's congratulations. I'm so happy for you. If you're checking for Hypno Hustler, I'm so happy for you. If you're checking for the Rhino Sandman buddy cop film, again, congratulations. I'm happy for you. And if you're checking if this sounds like something that you want to go spend your $15 or however much it costs for you to go to your local theater and pay for a film, if this sounds like something you want to sit down and pay for, congratulations. I'm happy for you. For me personally, this is not it. I'm not interested. I'm hoping that this is not true. I'm hoping that this is something that maybe was on the table and they came back, looked at it and said, why did we do this? Let's scrap this and let's come up with something better, something more fresh, something, new. I don't know. Maybe we can look at the source material and actually put Spider-Man in this, or a Spider person, because at one point Louis Esposito had said that Sony has plans for their new Spider person, and at one point some people thought it was going to be Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, or whatever things, but I don't know I don't know. We have not heard or seen or Sony has not given any type of inkling towards Spider-Man outside of Into the Spider-Verse or anything like that. Obviously we know we're getting an infant Peter Parker and Madam Web, but it seems like in all the projects they've got coming up so far, Peter's gonna be a baby or 5 years old. He's not gonna be Spider-Man. And I'm really, I thought I was confused about the DCU. I thought I was confused about, is it a reboot? Is it not a reboot? James Gunn has answered that question since then, but is it a reboot? Is it not a reboot? Who's staying? Who's going? What are we, who is this? What's that? Are you writing this? Why are you writing that? I thought I was confused about the DCU. I'm confused more about the fucking SSU. I'm more confused about that than I am the DCU, because what are you doing with the Spider-Man franchise? Like, what? This does not, where Sony kind of, my hope that Sony could kind of turn their shit around came when we, obviously seeing the Into the Spider-Verse trailer and some of the things we heard about Madam Web, I'm kind of like looking forward to seeing. But then there are things like El Muerto, or the Rhino and Sandman buddy cop film, or the Hypno Hustler things. It's just like you're announcing all of these things, but where the fuck is Spider-Man? That's like me going to watch the Titanic and there's no goddamn boat. what am I watching at this point? Like, what's the interest for me to continue to invest in your cinematic universe that you're trying to create? So again, if this is something that you're interested in, I am so happy for you, and I hope that this does everything that you want it to do. I hope that you are extremely happy, and I hope that it touches all those fucking whistles and bells that you want it to touch. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm hoping that this is not it. And again, if this is it, I will not be viewing this in theaters. I won't give it my time or energy. But again, question is for you guys. Maybe the mileage may vary for you. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. Is this something that you're checking for? Or you hear, and I'll read it one more time, that you hear Venom 3 is set in the same world as Madam Web and is the story of Eddie and Venom hunting down Peter Parker, but finds out that he's just 5. He's a 5-year-old child and struggles knowing that they need to take down Peter for their future, but begin to start seeing Peter as a son-like figure. Let me know if that's something that you're interested in. Are you interested in seeing Venom take on Peter, adopt Peter as a son-like figure, and maybe them go to the museum like they mentioned also in the leak? You know, Venom's going to take him on a field trip to the museum. If that's something you're interested in, let me know down below in the comments about what you guys are wanting to see for Venom 3.